feeling so hopeless today. School started, and I hate my classes, and I don't even know how I feel about some of my friends anymore.
Did you hear that? Was that gunshots?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Okay. Oh my god, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Quiet, quiet. You have to listen.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die. No, we're gonna die.
Get in there.
I've been feeling really down lately. My mom's been focused on my baby sister and my little brother, and my dad's been working really hard lately. And I'm just not happy with all the stuff that's been going on around me, and I have no control over it. The other day, Kay got pulled out of school because she was cutting herself. And then Carrie's brother recently died because he overdosed on some sort of opium. And there's no one I can talk to about this because my mom and dad are unavailable, and I really only have you.
Hello, I'm Dr. Barbara Becker Holstein, and I am a practicing positive psychologist and an author and a playwright. I'm talking too much about myself again, so I'm going to stop. And I have a fabulous guest tonight, Sabrina Osso, who is founder and CEO of OSSOSafe. And she is all involved in projects and work that involves helping people feel safe where they work, where they live, where they play. She's a TEDx contributor. She's also a speaker elsewhere and an author and a real estate agent promoting safety and preventing violence wherever she goes. So it is going to be fun, informative, and I think helpful to have her talk. And I'll just mention for those of you that already have your pens out to take some notes, her website is www.ossosafe.com. Hello, how are you doing, Sabrina?
Hello, Dr. Holstein. Thank you so much for having us on your podcast. This is so great.
Well, it's fun, and you seem like a very dedicated person to helping people's lives be better. And I'm eager to talk to you about that and also about handling children in that whole pile of concepts of a safe life. So I have 5 questions, and let me start. So self-esteem does lay the foundation of a child's emotional well-being, and we have to be very careful and really help the kid get some level of self-esteem. How important is that in the work you do? Is it incidental, or is it part of the creation that you have made in your what you bring to the public?
Yes, it is very important. And I want to say, in the work that we do, in a household that practices positivity, empowerment, encouragement, freedom of choice, respect, and safety, self-esteem is part of that, with parents that are positive and encouraging. As I mentioned, whatever your home environment is, you have positive parents that are respectful, that really attend to their children, then self-esteem is part of that. However, if you're in a household that is with violence, abuse, chaos, dysfunction, verbal, physical, sexual abuse, then that self-esteem is pretty much non-existent. And if anything, you have very bad self-esteem. So we empower children to kind of resort to their own resources, especially when mom and dad are fighting. There's verbal, physical, sexual abuse going on. So it's an excellent question. So I hope we answered the question, that it is very important and it's something that needs to be practiced.
Yes, it does need to be practiced for sure. We'll get back to it. Um, what are some of the healthy coping strategies that you think might help children as they try to manage their lives? Just a sample of some of the things that you've seen may be very effective.
Yes, as I mentioned, in households where the foundation is there, it's a good foundation where there's positivity, empowerment, encouragement, respect, a key ingredient, respect, knowing boundaries, and the children feel safe in that environment. Then coping strategies, parents, I would say they do this already with their children. Maybe when they're practicing their emotions, like exercising where healthy emotions, it's okay to get angry. It's okay to be upset, but how you handle it is very important. So we're not going to hit anyone in the house. We're not going to punch anyone. We're not going to damage any of our property, but maybe writing on post-its, I feel angry because, or making pictures, I feel upset because somebody bullied me at school and I don't know how to process that. So it's about communication and making it comfortable for the child to express those emotions, especially when they're deemed quote unquote negative. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be angry, but it's what you do with that anger that is key. And in a household, though, that is not safe, well, those coping strategies, those children have to kind of resort to themselves. They could punch a pillow, they could scream in a pillow, they can journal, they can perhaps express themselves, it may be in any sport or any activity, but it's important that they get it out, so that they
Also,
express themselves.
Sabrina, I'm gonna sort of build in a new question because I want to make sure everybody understands, and I'm not quite sure yet till you explain this. Are you like a clinical agency where families can come? Do you get calls from family service places and then, the kids get to work with certain people for a certain length of time? How do you actually mobilize what you're telling us, which is the cream of the crop of good suggestions? But how do you play it out?
Right. Our key, first, I should clarify, we're not a charity, we're not a nonprofit. We are, OSSOSafe creates and maintains respect in homes, workplaces, and schools through education and technology. And we respect all of the charities and nonprofits that deal with home violence, if you will. But our core product is the OSSOSafe certification for properties. So basically, we are making respect a required standard in all homes. Whether you live in a townhouse, a co-op, a condo, a single-family home, a multi-family dwelling, a two-family home, a villa, a mansion, a mobile home, a senior community, a dormitory. I think I covered all of the types of properties out there. Respect becomes a required standard. So it doesn't matter if you're going through maybe a tough relationship or not. This is a blanket education for everyone. And we are saying to property owners, property managers, hire us. We'll get your property OSSOSafe certified. There's four components to the certification, and it's by property owners property owners purchasing the OSSOSafe Home Sweet Home package. It consists of a policy, a seminar, an app, and therapists assigned to the property. So mental health is part of your residency. Uh,
I see.
respect is a part of
Yeah,
your residency. So it's in real estate is where is our focus, if you will.
I think that's an amazing niche, if I could use that kind of word, that you've picked up on, because so many people, including myself, we sold a house we have been in forever. We're now in an apartment. And sometimes I feel that it's great to be in an apartment, and sometimes I recognize that there can be not so good things. There's certain people that are not really friendly, and yet you pass each other every day, that kind of thing. And sometimes the managers are not aware of certain standards that would be really helpful just for very decent, basic living. So, okay, you completely answered that, and I'm glad I asked it, because otherwise I'm floating a little bit because, we haven't met each other. So this is great. Now I'm going to go back to a question I missed, but we'll do it now. Um, in face of certain things like lockdowns and schools that have to send the kids home, and climate change, I've interviewed little girls and boys that have been crying at night because will there be a climate to save us when we're grown-ups? What other is there anything else you'd like to say about how you bring your work to help some of these questions and problems that will never completely go away, but you can at least make an intention to make them better?
Yes, excellent question. Uh, it goes back to your home. We feel at OSSOSafe that the foundation of everything is your home. Is it a safe home? Is respect a focal point in practicing in everything that you do in a home? I mean, obviously there are problems. You're going to perhaps get into an argument with your spouse, with your significant other. You're going to get into an argument with your children, but it never crosses the line of abuse, not verbal, physical, or sexual abuse ever. Respect is practiced over and over again, and that is a non-negotiable in residency, if you will.
So in terms of apartment living, which is tremendous, I mean, across the country, millions and millions of people live in apartments of one sort or another, that actually understanding living in a compound of one sort and bringing people together, not to be best friends, because they didn't move there for that, but bringing families close enough that say they understand the nature of if dogs are allowed, how to handle a dog, if you accidentally have a dog come up to you, whatever, or holidays, if somebody is obviously celebrating a birthday or a holiday, um, you know, be nice, basic human stuff can make living together so much better.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that. You would think, well, actually, I want to say because I'm a survivor of violence. My father beat my mother on a regular basis, and my mother would beat me. So I know how traumatic it is to live in that type of environment. And I know if I had my own product and service when I was growing up, my father and mother would not have gotten away with half the things they got away with. And, there's a lot of people that I would say, unfortunately, more people don't know, or some of them don't even care to know how to live respectfully of each other and of oneself. This needs to be a basic fundamental foundation, I would say, for everyone, adults and children alike. And especially if you come from violence, you think that, oh, well, my father beating up my mother, or my mother beating up my father, or me as a child getting abused, that's normal. That is a no-no. And you don't want to repeat the cycle. People need to be educated, and it needs to be practiced, which is why in our OSSOSafe Home Sweet Home package, Everyone gets educated, Dr. Holstein, adults and children alike, on facts, statistics, warning signs, definitions of abuse, the difference between abuse and discipline, what constitutes a good relationship, what are the warning signs of a bad relationship. So that way there's no surprises, and this gets practiced in residency. It's a foundation. So it doesn't matter if you're single, if you're living with someone, if you're married, unmarried. This is a blanket education for all. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you come from violence or not. It's a blanket education because this makes for better residency for all, whether there's one person in the unit or many people in each unit.
Absolutely correct. So, is there anything that you would like to say? Now, this is a little bit of a twist, but it's very common today that kids as well as adults devour social media. Do you have any thoughts around social media in terms of self-esteem and resiliency and the program that you have designed and are trying to get across the nation, really?
Yes. I'm glad you said that. Yes, we are on the East Coast, and we have well, I'll go into that a little bit later, but to answer your question, your immediate question, we feel at OSSOSafe that social media is kind of like you have to social media responsibly. Just like you have to be in your car and drive responsibly. If you're going to drink, you need to drink responsibly. So we don't take the position at OSSOSafe, no social media, no cell phones for children until they are 15, 16 years of age. Because Dr. Holstein, I have to say, we at OSSOSafe, at the core of what we do is empowering children, especially children that are not safe at home. And social media, we are so thankful for the TikTok, the YouTube, the Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, but especially TikTok and YouTube, because kids are on those platforms. And for a lot of children, that is the only way for them to communicate, for them to empower themselves. And yes, there's bad social media, but there's a lot of good social media. So if you're in a safe home that practices respect, we say to those parents, empower your children, show them the bad stuff, and say, look, I don't want you to be in a relationship with someone that beats you up or that verbally disparages you, like in this post. I want you to be in a good relationship where you are empowered and encouraged. So I hope that in this post that you're seeing, maybe the girl or the boy they're dating and they're getting choked. I don't want that for you. And then show them a post where the couple is empowering one another and rooting for each other, like almost being each other's cheerleader. That's what you want. So definitely educate your children, but to say, nope, I don't want you to be on social media, you're not allowed, we don't take that approach. And I want to say, in school shootings, these kids that we really feel for children because they're dealing with things that I know I didn't even deal with growing up, and I'm sure you didn't either. But we're living in an age where you need to kiss and hug your child goodbye because it may be the very last time that you see them. So give them the cell phones, give them the social media, because that way they can call you and say, Mom, Dad, there's a shooter. I need help. Call 911. We're scared here. And thank goodness for cell phones. Thank goodness for social media. So we take the position of you have to social media responsibly. I hope we answered the question.
Yeah, I don't know if we got to the exact question, but you brought up something, a really brilliant side to social media and all things that kids are experiencing, that if you can help children mature enough and feel good enough about themselves and are not feeling endangered where they live, then they can handle this equipment and they can sort through it, and they'll be able to do their homework and put the phone away for the night, get a night's sleep, do the things that we want normal growing kids to do. And the fear of being a bully begins to disappear when a child has the safety of feeling understood and good about himself. There's much less chance that that boy or girl is going to be involved in dangerous situations, so it all works. I think you're into very important places. So I might have skipped a question, but I think it doesn't matter because they've been merging. If you became a millionaire overnight, maybe even 2 billion, why not? What would you do with this project what would be the dreams around this project?
Yes, I love this question. I've loved every single question that you have asked, but especially this one. Um, Immediately, we at OSSOSafe, we would scoop up many properties and get them all OSSOSafe certified immediately, and where they are, for the most part, vacant or close to vacant. That way we can get people to really see residency in a different way, where respect is a required standard. And we have the mechanisms in place that even if it's fully occupied, we will get them OSSOSafe certified, even though if they already occupy the building. But we would get properties where, let's say, because the worst situation is when both parents are abusive. I should know, I was one of those children where both parents are abusive, or maybe your stepmother, your stepfather. Anyway, both parents are abusive. You have no one to take you in. There's not an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a close family friend to take you in. So we would take you in at OSSOSafe. That is when the OSSOSafe certification has 3 levels. When both parents are abusive, that's when the 3rd level is initiated, if you will. And we would put the children in an OSSOSafe certified property where I would hire 24-hour medical care, 24-hour security. Those kids, by choice, they want to stay in the OSSOSafe certified property. They don't want to go home, because home is hell. Home is where they get beat up. Home is where dad is raping them. Home is where mom is showing them pornography. I don't want to go home. My new home is with you, Sabrina, and OSSOSafe. So I would implement that with the money immediately. And we have intentions to make our products and services not only national but international. And I've done many podcasts where I was interviewed in Malaysia, Australia, England, Spain, in the Philippines, in Pakistan, and I've been told, Sabrina, we need OSSOSafe certifications in my country. So with that, $1 billion, $2 billion, I would implement that immediately. And I love that question. I love it.
Uh, Actually, my first trip to Israel many years ago, my mother-in-law was involved with a facility like that. It was a one-shot facility, but it took kids. It didn't try to adopt them or anything, but they could go there, and there was social workers that lived with them 24 hours and food and everything. And those kids grew and lost a lot of the damaging side effects much more quickly in terms of research than what we have in our country at this point, or most countries. Nobody's doing enough but your package is a complete package, you know, much more complete. So that's really so interesting. And I'm really glad you came on the show, and we're trying to help people even begin to understand how important real resilience and self-esteem are to children and to think more about it. So thank you very much. And I hope someday we'll meet in a real way beyond the computer. You're a fascinating, complicated woman, and you're doing a great job. So,
Dr.
and if
Holstein,
I could send you the billion, if I could send you $1 billion, it would be in the mail. But okay,
and I would take it.
yes,
I thank you so much for this opportunity, and that is so great. Maybe send me some information about that that facility in Israel. I know that we are looking to really expand and make this just a standard all around. So I thank you for echoing that.
you're welcome. All right, all the best.
Thank you.
Good night for now.
Good night. Good night.